Welcome to part 2 of the video series on thanking Gaia, Planet Earth, the Divine Mother for our meals and the food that comprises every single one of our meals. Part 2 is all about application of the universal laws and specifically, the practical tips about how can we practice love. And for this particular subject matter, it's all about how can we thank and show love to our beautiful planet Earth for the meals that she constantly births for us, for our benefit, to make sure that we are staying nice and healthy and happy, and we have full tummies, right? Full tummies always make us happy. So I will be shuffling some cards just later on in the video, just to give me some more inspiration or any other messages from angels, archangels, spirits, just to be able to actually give as much as I can to you and for this particular content. But a couple of things that I prepared earlier obviously revolve around my holy trinity of love, and that's all about thinking love, speaking love, and doing love. And on the first part, if we just think for a moment, thinking love, right? What can we do? What can we think? Or how can we turn our mind to thanking Gaia for our beautiful food? And so it's all about, I think, shifting your focus on planet Earth, whatever that might be in your head, right? You can close your eyes if you wish, or you can obviously have your eyes open, but most important, shift your intention to Gaia. Visualize her in whatever shape and form you might want. As for me, I usually try and imagine that I'm zoomed out and I'm so large and I'm looking at the beautiful planet in front of me. And planet Earth, she's spinning, she's doing her thing. And what I like to think is to actually say in my mind, thank you Gaia for the meals. Thank you Gaia for the beautiful food that you birthed for my benefit and for my family's benefit, right? And that's all in my mind. I think that I literally imagine her as any other individual that I might be speaking to in a daily life, right? But I'm directing my attention to her. I send her thoughts of gratitude, love. Say, I love you, planet Earth. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? Think of any other symbols that might resonate with you, perhaps images or any other kinds of visuals. So one example of what I like to do from time to time is imagine a symbol of a heart, right? And a heart beating, and that's overlaying the planet Earth. So this massive beautiful heart all over the planet, and it's beating. Sometimes I imagine, as I see, I feel like I'm really big, and I see planet Earth in front of me as like this smaller ball, and I come towards it, and the planet Earth unites with my own personal heart, and every single time my heart beats, it's like a wave. Every time there's a heartbeat is a wave of love, a wave of gratitude and affection and love. And so when the planet unites with my heart and my heart beats, it's like I am transferring that energy of love from my heart towards the planet. So that's just something that you may want to consider doing in terms of thinking love. But most important, you do what feels right to you, right? And what resonates with you. So if we think a little bit about speaking love, so you can say thank you to Gaia in any language, right? Out loud. Thank you Gaia. Here, repeat with me. Thank you Gaia. Gracias. Merci. Spasiba or Дякую. We have so many beautiful languages out there. Do what resonates with you. You do you. Now, and once again, have the intention, focus on planet Earth and her beautiful self, as if you're actually thanking her. Something else, speaking love is, I mentioned in part 1, the saying grace around the table, right? So when you gather around with your family or your loved ones or your friends, saying a little bit of thanks to planet Earth and for the fact that you have gorgeous food on your table, for the fact that she's done her bit to make sure that there's a point in time you can enjoy the lovely meal that is in front of you, and so can your loved ones. And I think that would be, if you're a mom and dad or you're a guardian of children, a lovely practice to introduce within your family, if you don't have one already, to actually thank the planet for what she's produced. Now, personal story that I've always been astonished about and in awe of families that have fed grace for their meals before they started eating. That wasn't the practice in my family growing up, but I genuinely struggled, during my teenager years and young and adult, when I was already, living by myself and making my own food for me. I struggled with saying grace on a regular basis, and my sort of aha moment came when I realized I would thank, for instance, the chef or the cook. If I ordered a meal at the restaurant and it was lovely, I would always send compliments to the chef. Or if somebody prepared the meal for me physically, a close family friend or a family member, mum, I would always thank for the meal. But I never really thanked the planet Earth. And so that aha moment was when I realized, well, hold on a second. She has done a huge amount of work, in terms of birthing all of the ingredients that ended up being on my plate for that one particular meal. Perhaps she deserves some loving too. So that was my aha moment. So my equivalent of grace is just to thank planet Earth. And I do that speaking love as I'm preparing the meal, when I'm cooking the meal, because I'm the cook in my family, I'm the mum. And as well as just before I'm about to eat, or if I forget during my meal, it sort of comes to me and it's just a thought, or I must say it out loud. I've done my bit. Now, how can we show love? Well, thinking and speaking is a really good start. And look, I might just grab a tarot deck to shuffle it through for a few messages, if any, as I speak about doing love. But think about if thinking well or showing gratitude not only to the planet, but as I mentioned, there's consciousness in everything. So how about thanking the individual ingredients on your plate? Be that some veggies, yummy carrots, mashed potato, or whatever it is that's on your plate, some meat. Thank them. Show some loving in exactly the same manner as I just said out beforehand. Show the love, visualize them, whatever symbols come to your mind, send some heart emojis to them, to each of the food items on your meal, on your plate, sorry. Another example that I do, and it is very much thinking and speaking love, but I do put it in the do love category or bucket, is because it's actually multiplying the love, and you're multiplying the love by actually thinking of all the individuals that are in a supply chain to have gotten the food onto your plate. And so I don't know who they are, I don't know their faces, but I thank them by saying effectively something along the lines, thank you to all the individuals who have been engaged in the process of supplying my food to my table. Be that the farmers, be the drivers, be that the people that pick the fruit or the veggies or grains or whatever it might be the people in the supermarket who have stocked the shelves, as well as ultimately the people who have delivered the food to my plate. So here's a card that came out. So the sun, yep, so the sun, if we think about it, so the sun came through. That's actually a really nice one. Just thinking out loud here, it's a necessity for all of us to have the sun for us to be alive, and even more so in the context of food, right? Food, vegetables, plants, fruits, grains, they need the sunlight to be able to grow. So perhaps one thing that we can all show some love through thinking and speaking, and actually the sun, not just the planet or the individual items themselves. So thank you for that message, Spirit. And I think I'm going to wrap up the part 2 at this point in time, and we'll jump into part 3, which is the final outcome, and any other parting comments and thoughts. See you soon.